Welcome to the 2026 Disability Arts Festival Virtual Vendor Tour. My name is Christine Malec. I'm here with describer JJ Hunt, and we've gathered because it's almost time for the Disability Collective's Arts Festival. This festival keeps on growing. This year, it's a full weekend event, August 8th and 9th, and it's taking place at two different locations, the Tarragon Theatre and Wychwood Barns. The festival is going to include a short film series, a deaf and disabled drag and burlesque show, musical performances, circus shows, and an arts market with over 40 disabled artisan vendors. We'll talk more about the short films and drag show in a bit, and go over all of the access measures that will be available at the festival, and there are a lot. But our main focus today is the arts market and vendors. JJ, what can you tell us about this year's market?
Hey, Chris. So as you said, over 40 vendors, all members of the disability community. They're going to be gathered in the main hall of Wychwood Barns, which is at 601 Christie Street, which is just one block south of St. Clair West. That'll be on Sunday, August the 9th from 11 to 5. Outside, food trucks are going to be serving up amazing food. There's going to be a ton of free activities and performances. Lawn games are going to be played. Rainbow Circus will be performing. They are an awesome, inclusive circus and movement outfit. Mass Abilities will be there singing and dancing. They support Black and disabled communities and help everyone participate in Caribbean carnival celebrations. There's going to be yoga, drag story time, face painting, a pet photo booth. The signing princess is going to be there, and there will be stages set up for musicians, including you, Christine.
It's true. It's true. From 1:30 to 2 o'clock, I will be acoustically singing with a guitar, and I have to say, I'm so excited about this because I'm going to be ASL interpreted. And if anyone's listened to this podcast or me anywhere else, you'll know I'm a bit obsessed with the idea of sign singing. And so the ASL interpreter, as I sing, they've been given my set list and my lyrics, and they're going to be signing as I sing. And so I'm telling you right now, I've got it lined up. So a friend's going to come and video, and we're going to dissect it later because I really want to know what it looks like when an ASL interpreter is interpreting me singing. This is just like top level great for me.
That's fantastic. I love that. I love that. And of course, anchoring the whole day at Wychwood is the arts market, right? Lined up inside the main hall in long rows of individually decorated tables, there are going to be vendors selling everything from stickers and art prints to jewelry and stuffies to hand-knit clothing and even bling for working dogs. And one of the many accessibility offerings that we like to put out into the world is this virtual tour of the vendors and their wares. So, in the weeks leading up to the festival, we have invited all of the artisans to send us photos and bios. Lori at the Disability Collective gathered all of that information, helped us synthesize it so that Chris, you and I can talk about each vendor one by one and give folks a sense of each artist's products, their style, and their vibe. So, what do you think? Are you ready to do this thing, Chris?
I am. I'm going to sit back and just enjoy because it's a long list and it's super fun because you get to hear as a blind person every vendor who's there. You get to know what they're doing. So let's do it.
All right. So we'll start with One Hand Wonders. One Hand Wonders does hand knit hats, scarves, all made from hand dyed wool or acrylic yarn. They do stone and tile and terracotta coasters with colorful flowers or black flowers on them. One of the photographs of the knitwork they've done is a scarf. Like looks like a really chunky knit in a dark blue, really luxurious scarf. And then these coasters and ornaments that are in like earthen colors, really like marbly, very, very lovely, with paintings of flowers on them, and in some cases it looks like actual flowers, maybe even pressed in. Either that or their art is so realistic from a distance it's hard to tell if it's real or not. Another booth, AADHA, does contemporary South Asian fashion. They are inspired by the intersection of Punjabi culture, queer identity, and 90s nostalgia, which is a really cool mix of things. They've got some stickers here that they've sent pictures of, as well as jewelry. They also do henna cones and temporary tattoos, stickers, pins, prints, handbags, totes, pouches, lots of really cool stuff. Again, this Punjabi culture, queer identity, 90s nostalgia, I'm going to want to go and talk to them more about that. That's really fascinating. Arian Julian does handcrafted sterling silver jewelry. Their designs are inspired by Gothic wrought ironwork, so like reminiscent of the intricate pointed arches and scrolls seen in classic decorative blacksmithing. Lots of really intricate swirls. I've got photos here of like these arrow-shaped earrings, a real beautiful kind of teardrop-shaped, like dark red, like a bloodstone with a scroll work, and then these earrings that are shaped like long leaves, like a really elongated kind of cupped leaves. I actually bought those for my wife for Christmas last year.
Oh, how'd they go over?
It went over very well,
awesome.
I gotta say.
Awesome.
Yeah, so if I can find a matching necklace, man, I will be in the good books for until Christmas. Artfully Painted does a multimedia work. They specialize in like one-of-a-kind hand-painted pieces, digitally drawn greeting cards and bookmarks. So they do like wooden coasters, baskets, charcuterie boards. So these are like hand-painted plates, like little, looks like blues and grays and terracotta plates with hand-painted sunflowers and hand-painted. They have some coasters that are shaped like fruit slices, so like segments of oranges and lemons and grapefruit as a set of coasters.
I love that.
And they also do little hobbit doors on clay plates and coasters. Have you ever seen these little hobbit doors around the city?
No, but hobbit doors are round. I think I know that.
Yeah, so like these exactly like tiny little doors with like rounded tops, or sometimes perfectly round with little tiny windows, and people will put them like at the base of trees. Sometimes they're called fairy doors. So they've got little hobbit doors that are painted on plates and flower pots and coasters and things. Very cool. Baby Globe does handmade stained glass sun catchers, artwork, and glass jewelry, and accessories including colorful keychains and charms. So some of the photos they've sent me, like stained glass, so like poured liquidy glass in different colors, blues and greens and reds, framed in, but with what looks like sterling silver like outsides. So different shapes, rectangles, circles, wiggly lines, sometimes multiple shapes in multiple colors strung together with lengths of chain. Very, very cool. And then these little keychains that look like little tiny naked baby dolls with various like head coverings and flowers on top. Super cute from Baby Globe. Bead Store Cowboy, which might be my new favorite vendor name this year. Bead Store Cowboy. They do, the artist is a mixed indigenous, deaf, transgender beadwork artist, and they do beaded fringe earrings, carabiners, and prints. Yeah, I'm going to want to check that out. Bead Store Cowboy, come on, that's a fantastic name.
Carabiners? I'm all about the carabiner lately. Yeah.
Birdsong Witchery is owned and operated by a queer disabled visual artist and a trauma-informed tarot reader. They do watercolor paintings, ink drawings, and felted pieces. There's one image that they've got, looks like a very small little felted print with like it's like a cloudy evening with a lightning bolt coming in. I'm really curious as to how tactile that is. Is that a print of a felted piece? Is that an original felted piece? That I don't know. But one of the other things that they have, another photo they sent me were like mobiles of tiny little felted planets. So like a little felted sun and a little felted Jupiter and a little felted Earth in a mobile. Very, very cool. Yeah, so they take inspiration from the quiet beauty of the natural world to make their watercolor pieces, their ink drawings, their felted pieces. Yeah, very cool stuff. Birdsong witchery. Cammie's Critters makes handmade stuffed animals and plushies. They're all made from fleece or sometimes a very, very soft micro chenille fabric. And they have a custom line of stuffed animals with disabilities, including a rabbit with a white cane, a black cat with a glucose monitor on its arm. I love this. They sent a picture of a possum, so it's a like a stuffed possum with a bunch of baby possums on its back, and a carrot, a little carrot character. So they took a photo of the carrot being pulled out of the ground in the garden, and it's like this cute little carrot with, little tiny limbs and a little smiley face on it with a tuft of greenery coming out of the top. Very cute stuff from Cammie's Critters. Caradoodles. They do illustrations and comics, many featuring deaf and disabled characters. So they do prints, stickers, temporary tattoos, original watercolors and drawings, and actual comic books featuring deaf and disabled characters. Some of the stickers they sent me include stickers of Canada and Ontario with drawings of the sign for Canada and Ontario being acted out, which is really cool.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
They have an ASL coloring book featuring animals, so color in the animals and learn the ASL sign for the animals. Really cool stuff.
That's beautiful. Wow.
Cosmic Imp. They do handmade jewelry and lino print cards, stainless steel, semi-precious stones. Again, a couple of the photos they sent, this teardrop shaped stone with interesting beadwork and metalwork chain, like a really chunky chain with beads interspersed along the chain. They also do lino cuts on handmade paper where the paper contains dried plants and flowers right in there.
I've heard of that.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you get a piece of paper that has like a flower embedded in it, you can trace the line of the veins in the leaves with your fingers. Very, very cool stuff. That's Cosmic Imp. Dust Bunny does weird and whimsical art and jewelry from ethically sourced taxidermy, crystals, found objects, and upscaled items. They have a wild selection of photos that they've shown me, a lot in the what they call fairy core themes. So like beautiful, looks like these glass flower petals and glass leaves and vines in like really kind of muted pastel colors, like looks like it would come out off of a chintz fabric or something like that. Really, really nice. I think those are either bracelets or necklaces. Also pendants with tiny, look like beautiful Victorian pendants with like black velvet backgrounds. Looks like pewter or maybe stainless steel or silver frames around them. And then little tiny bones right in the center of these pieces. Yeah, very cool. Another image they sent is a framed piece with looks like dried flower petals and an actual skull, a little tiny animal skull in the middle of it. Very, very cool stuff. Dust Bunny. Aaron's Art Collection. They do crocheted items, hand-painted accessories, ceramic buttons. Some of these buttons are really, really cool. The image of the buttons that I've got includes star shapes and, of course, round buttons, but in a variety of different colors. Lovely to have handmade buttons on a treasured garment. That's really cool. Some of the stuffies, they sent pictures of these. They're little seals, little baby seals, and like the really chunky crocheted knit. Oh my God, they're just adorable. And then tote bags, which feature prints of flowers and little tiny little black bugs holding stars and things like that. They say they sell whimsical items perfect for a sunny beach day.
Aw.
Fruity Frog Creations. They make bright and colorful crocheted stuffed toys with cute black plastic eyes and little smiley faces. They produce things with themes such as pride, food, animals, and video games. So they've got like this little jellyfish with a round head with fringe around the bottom and a little tiny smiley face, and then these like braids of yarn squiggling out from the bottom like the jellyfish tentacles. Or like they also have a tiny cactus with a smiley face on the pot, and then like a fuzzy green cactus on top. So tactile little stuffed toys, little soft sculpture pieces, all with these super cute little black eye, tiny smile faces. GLA, Good Looks Artistry, does handcrafted jewelry, talismans, and wearable art in copper, sterling silver, and gold using traditional metalsmithing techniques. So a lot of their jewelry, really big and blocky, geometric shapes, rectangles and triangles kind of attached to one another. Looks like rods of copper that are bent into like half moon shapes or curve shapes. And sometimes the copper pieces will be bent into a band that holds a chunk of stone, it looks like. Very, very cool. Like, yeah, they look ancient. There's an ancient kind of quality to this. It looks like a lot of the metal, they say traditional metalsmithing techniques. Like you can see some of the hammer marks in some of the pieces. Really, really cool. GLA.
Wow.
Hear Glam makes handmade stylish accessories for hearing aids and cochlear implants attached using silicone and delicate chains. So, very lovely little, what in some cases would look like earrings, like little tiny dangling earrings and hearts and diamond shapes and so on and so forth, but with these chains that connect to a hearing aid. I remember we were at the market, I think it was last Christmas, might have been the Christmas before, and the mayor, Olivia Chow, was talking to one of the vendors about this very thing. The mayor has a hearing aid and is constantly falling out and saying, I wish I had a piece of jewelry that could connect my hearing aid to the jewelry so that if it falls out, I'm not going to lose it. It stays connected to my hearing aid.
Sweet.
So I don't know if it was Hear Glam they were talking to, but Hear Glam certainly understands the market. So yeah, really cool stuff. Joanna Miedzik makes handmade resin coasters and jewelry trays that are inspired by natural elements, and incorporated into these resin coasters are dried flowers and stones and leaves, dried fruit and seashells. So you end up with these plates that are clear. They are resin, but they look like glass, like totally clear, and inside are all of these dried flowers and tiny bits of gold leaf as well, seashells. Very cool. One of the pieces is actually, it's two hands cupped together as if like making a bowl out of the hands, but those hands are made of resin. And then inside those hands are these flowers and pink petals and green leaves. So you could put something in this bowl created by hands, but the bowl itself has these things embedded in it. Really cool handmade resin stuff.
Sweet.
Cat's Canine Creations makes handmade dog supplies. So bandanas, treat pouches, collars, leashes for pets and working dogs. So like they've got little tags that say angel on 4 paws, caution, my dog kisses, but also do not pet, or please pet me, or in training. So a lot of their stuff is catered to folks who have working dogs who want to send a message while that dog is on the job. But I think a lot of their leashes and so forth are also to be used. They're one-handed leashes. They've got the clips that you can clip onto your body and belt, so that they can be used for folks who are wanting to keep their hands free as well. So that's Cat's Canine Creations. Lunacraft does crocheted cute and spooky accessories and plush monsters. And in their bio, they said, think roses and eyeballs. So 2 of the pictures they sent, one is of these little hair clips with tiny, tiny, tiny roses. And I got some of those roses for my niece, little tiny barrettes.
Aww.
With these. And the roses are probably the size of your pinky nail. They're so small and delicate with all the flower petals there. And then eyeball earrings. So like earrings with crocheted eyeballs on them. Really wild from Lunacraft. Also, they do sculptures of hands turned into abstract forms. So again, similar to the resin one, these ones honestly, they look like porcelain. I don't know what the material is, but porcelain hands with very fine black line drawings on them. It's very cool. Lunacraft. Mango Lily makes wearable art from clay made by proud Black artists, and they make things with bold colors and textures. So really bold. They look flat at a glance, but then the texturing that's pressed or carved into these pieces, really something. So some of it looks like dried and cracked leather. Some of it looks like flower petals or vines. And again, bold shapes, circles and kind of triangles with rounded corners, and rectangle shapes with rounded corners in bold oranges and purples and golds. If you are someone who is a fidgeter, I can imagine having one of these earrings on and really enjoying rubbing a thumb across the surface, the patterned surface. Mango Lily. Neon Birchworks is an Indigenous-owned jewelry and accessories brand. They do Anishinaabe beadwork, all of their own designs, and apparently this has been a really big year for Neon Birchworks. One of their streetcar designs was purchased by the Toronto Museums and used for the FIFA celebrations in Toronto.
Wow.
So big year for them. A lot of the images they've shared with me are long, narrow bands, rectangular bands with beads on them. So sometimes in pattern shapes like overlapping green leaves, sometimes like flowers in vines with red flower heads and then vines, and then some of their earrings, their beaded work spells things out. So love spelled out in beads, or resist spelled out in beads. That's Neon Birchworks. Off the Hook Mama does crocheted plush toys made from chenille yarn. This is an artist that has been working for 30 years in the field, and they've got all kinds of great little tiny characters, little people in costumes. Some of them familiar, like there's a little Spider-Man, there's a little Batman, there's a little Iron Man. There are some other cartoons and video game characters from Mario Brothers, and then there are these tiny little chickens which are rather adorable. I don't have a scale for these, but it looks like these little crocheted chickens would sit in the palm of your hand in whites, yellows, blues, and browns. They're super cute. Off the Hook Mama. And then Ooh Snazzy, which is a vendor we have described before, and I know because I love saying any opportunity to say
it.
Ooh Snazzy.
Yeah. Awesome.
They do handmade stainless steel jewelry and accessories for the vibrant-hearted, they say. Hyperallergenic earrings, bracelets, necklaces, bag charms, glasses, chains, all designed and fueled by cultural influences. So they've got earrings with little tulips, little tiny fried eggs, which I got those. I put those in some stockings last Christmas. There's a pendant that is shaped like a strawberry. Yeah, really cool stuff. Ooh Snazzy. Rad Habits does colorful and whimsical handmade art and accessories, so like stickers and prints and magnets and greeting cards, earrings made from 2-inch toy dinosaurs and little tiny plastic animals. They do beaded friendship bracelets with funny phrases, so they've got one that says, "My back hurts, my bones hurt, my knees hurt," in these little friendship bracelets. I want to go home, which I always love. Their overall vibe, very silly, colorful, and in their words, gay as heck. Seymour's Print Shop does cards, prints, stickers, bookmarks, and calendars. These are digitally illustrated pieces of art with vibrant colors, playful quirks and minimalistic charm. They do a lot of stuff with pets, cats and dogs, in these very minimal, like black outlined digital drawings with simple colors inside. So there's one of like 2 corgis that are facing away from us, but like turning back to look over their shoulders with their eyes squinted shut, their tongues hanging out, and their big fluffy white bums pointing directly at us. It's a very corgi look. Then they have a looks like a card, like a greeting card with a picture of a black and white tuxedo cat lying on its side, and it says, "Paint me like I'm one of your French girls." I really like that one. Seymour's print shop. Really, really cute stuff.
Hilarious.
6 Stories does poetry, nonfiction, fiction, and children's books, all by artists that are disabled, chronically ill, mentally ill, and neurodivergent. So they've got all kinds of written word stuff. They've got zines and postcards. They've got coloring books and card decks. I think in the past I've seen these guys before. They also had a fishbowl full of surprise poems and little brown envelopes, so you can pick up, you can buy the right to reach your hand in and grab a little surprise poem. And I think some of the 6 stories are also available on Libro FM and available as audiobooks. So 6 stories worth checking out. Simply Creative Gems. They do handmade and custom jewelry made of stainless steel, natural crystals. They also do macrame, cord, clay, and they use natural materials like seashells and sea glass and beach stones. They have a whole line of jewelry that are these seashells that look like they've just been cleaned up but otherwise left as is, which makes them just really lovely. These like bone white seashell colors in very classic seashell sizes and shapes, all in matching sets of earrings, and then stone jewelry as well, again on silver chains. And then some of their pendants and charms are like rainbow shapes and lightning bolt shapes and little flower petal shapes. And one of the things that's really cool is they do custom pieces. They actually make jewelry right at the table. So if you're interested in learning more about how the jewelry is made, you can drop in and check out Simply Creative Gems. The Bifecta. So artist Ashley T is a black, biracial, bisexual woman with bipolar disorder. And so Ashley has coined herself the Bifecta. And she makes hand-painted silkscreen apparel that celebrates Black excellence, female empowerment, queer pride, and enriched mental health. So kind of like her signature image is this picture of a Black woman with a big natural afro, dark sunglasses, really vibrant black lips, wearing a black tank top that says Black Queen, and then she's got a crown kind of tucked in, embedded in her afro. And either that image or that crown gets splashed across all kinds of other things like sweaters and t-shirts. The Gloomy Angel is a sticker and stationery shop. They describe their style as old school tattoo meets soft girl. So they do dreamy stickers and moody posters. They do keychains, greeting cards, bookmarks. So some of the images they show, kind of styled like old school tattoos, meaning like darker outlines with clear, like illustrated images. The soft girl comes in, so there's an image of like looks like a woman hugging her knees with kind of angel wings behind her. So it's a little bit badass, but also, holding tight, that kind of pulling those knees in tight. There's a tombstone that says Sleepy Girls Club on it, which is pretty good. And then they've got a tote bag that has a picture of a heart made of thorny vines. And then underneath it says, "Don't tell me to smile, my chronic pain is flaring." Which I really like.
Wow.
I like that. Yeah, I know. It's a good description. Old school
Poignant.
Tattoo
Yeah.
meets soft girl from the Gloomy Angel.
Nice.
The Pink Pooch, they do disability-friendly stationery products like stickers, sticker sheets, greeting cards, and magnets, all in the themes of dogs and disability. So again, these really cute, like fluffy little dogs with tiny faces. There's something about these tiny faces, little black dots for eyes, little smiley mouths, and in some of these puppy cases, little tiny tongues hanging out, in magnets and sticker sheets, all different kinds of dogs. So if you got a favorite kind of dog, check out the Pink Pooch and see if they've got a sticker with a cute version of your dog on it. Tig Owl Creations does small crafts, artworks, and decorations, as well as printed fabric clothing. All of their stuff is colorful, made from different materials like wood, paint, fabric, and all creatively handmade. The vendor uses ASL, American Sign Language, as their primary language. Just a good moment to remind everyone that ASL interpretation is fully supported by the collective. They're going to have interpreters on hand and available at all times. So communicating with any artist who uses ASL as their primary language, not an issue at the Disability Collective events. Treasure Box Jewelry does handmade bead earrings, necklaces, bracelets, brooches, and eyeglass cords inspired by designs and patterns found in nature. Really cool piece. Looks like a brooch in red concentric circles with like a star shape inside with a variety of different kinds of beads used in there. Looks like there's some glass beads and some like turquoise blue beads. As well, they've got some bracelets that look really vintagey, really old-fashioned, with kind of like these the pearly white beads surrounded by waves of tiny beads. Very cool stuff. Treasure Box Jewelry. Toonie Girl. So it took me a while to pronounce, but it's spelled TUNIG1RL, and I think that's Toonie Girl. Toonie Girl does keychains and plushies inspired by video games, anime, animals, charms, and prints. So again, like a lot of their the images that they showed me are clearly characters that I don't know. But I bet there are a lot of people who are like, oh my God, that's so-and-so from this video game. Oh my God, that's so-and-so from this anime. And really distinct, again, super cute. In this case, it is the bigger eyes in some of the little tiny cute characters, or closed eyes. So the eyes are just like closed little eyelids, and really specific on these tiny little characters. Clothing pieces, costume pieces, wings, hairstyles. Again, those who know are gonna know. Undivided Productions does merchandise from Undivided Productions and Unified Deaf Film Festival. So they sell tote bags and t-shirts with the festival logo on them. That's the Undivided Productions table. Willow Arts does stickers, keychains, pins, and stationery. They are heavily influenced by the artist's Afro-Caribbean heritage. So one of their main images is a black woman with big poofy pigtails and a head wrap. Big smiling pink lips, wearing a white bustier top, dark skin tone, surrounded by these lush flowers and lush greenery. They also have some stationery products, like they've got like this library card bookmark. So it actually looks like the old-fashioned library card from when you used to take a book out from the library and the title would be handwritten and the name of the person who took it out would be handwritten and the date would be stamped on. So they've got a bookmark that looks like that, as well as retro sticker packs that are designed to look exactly like a cassette tape in like pinks and rainbow colors. Really wicked looking sticker packs there. XO Adorable is a pair of disabled mixed media artists, and they make earrings, beaded bracelets, press-on nails, scrunchies, bandanas. Their press-on nails look incredible. Different sets of nails where they're all of the same style or color tone, but each nail is different. So like the thumbnails in this one set of like silvery, like grays and silver colors. So like the thumbnails are all sparkles. There are tiny strings of pearls around the next nail. There are little pearly bows on the next one. Really, really intricate nails. They also do crocheted wristlets and crocheted bandanas for people and dogs. And last but certainly not least, the Disability Collective itself sells merch.
Yay!
So the collective merch table has lots of disability themed stuff. So shirts, sweaters, tote bags, stickers with messages that include disabled is not a bad word, nothing about us without us, and disability rights are human rights. They've got new merch at the table this year, including baseball hats. Some of them, the baseball hats say spoony or overstimulated or my tummy hurts. And a lot of those messages are also on enamel pins. They also have dog bandanas, which with the TDC logo on it, that can be used for the pet photo booth. And my personal favorite thing at the Disability Collective merch table is an enamel pin with a picture, like a cartoon of a blushing hot pepper that reads "Nero Spicy." There you go. What an amazing collection of artists and vendors.
Wow.
I know, it's something, eh?
So much craft and artistic talent and innovation, and oh my God. And just the work involved to create stuff by hand and the time is really impressive. Really impressive.
It really is. I mean, everything about the festival weekend is impressive. It is an incredibly packed weekend. I strongly encourage everyone to check out the festival webpage for all of the info, because there's simply too much for us to list in this primer. So head to www.thedisabilitycollective.com/arts, that's arts with an S, festival 2026. And there you're going to find all the information. You're going to find links to buy tickets, all sorts of things like that. But before you do that, I'm going to flag a few big events, some of the ones that you mentioned right off the top, Chris. At 2 p.m. on the afternoon of Saturday the 8th at the Tarragon Theatre, which is 30 Bridgman Street, just northeast of Bathurst and DuPont, is going to be Crip Cinema. This is a series of short films from Voices with Impact, directed and created by disabled creators from all across Canada. It is a pay-what-you-can event, and I'm going to be there live to describe all of the films in person. So everything at that at the Crip Cinema Festival is going to be described. And then later that night, 8 p.m., also at the Tarragon, will be Kryptonite, the deaf and disabled drag and burlesque show, which is a stupendously good time. I'm going to be there as well to describe the performances live and blushing. It is such a good time. Again, pay what you can. You were at Kryptonite last year, Chris. Had you ever been to an event like it before or since?
No and no. Theo did a bang-up job as the host. They were frankly a little frightening, which I think was the intent. The content was just like, oh, what? I'm sure my mouth was in that big goofy O shape. Like, wow, did that just happen? Is that can they do what? Yeah, even my shock reflex was, it was well triggered. So a truly rarefied opportunity to get live described drag and burlesque, not to be missed.
Oh, it's so good. It's so many happenings at the festival this year. And of course, the access is next level, right? We have barely scratched the surface on festival access offerings. At the market, where there's going to be therapy dogs, personal care attendants from Wimble, multiple touch tours, including a touch tour, a touch table of all the vendors' wares. So vendors will be submitting some of their things for a touch table. So if you want to just explore on your own and touch some of these wares, you can do so at a table full of wares. I'm going to be doing some description of the touch table of vendors' wares. I am going to be there from 1 o'clock until 4:30 to host a descriptive hangout. I am going to be describing the event as it unfolds, from the circus shows to people watching. It's going to be a really casual drop in, drop out, hang with your community with live description peppered in throughout. So, I mean, fantastic. I'm so excited to be able to do that. And then for Kryptonite, before the live audio description, we're also going to be re-releasing an updated audio primer to get folks acquainted with the visuals of drag and burlesque. So we're going to be sending that out in advance of the show. There are complete access guides and venue guides on the website that I mentioned just a moment ago. And of course, every event and host space at the festival will have quiet spaces, sighted guides, and ASL interpretation. Nobody does it like the Disability Collective.
It's so true. So because, we're sort of speaking to a blind and low vision audience, you just let them know you're coming and where you'll be. They'll send a lovely person to meet you with sighted guide training who will guide you to wherever you need to be. And that element of how am I going to move around the space? How am I going to get to and from? Completely eliminated by the gracious, efficient, and friendly assistance of the Disability Collective, who are the best.
They really are. They really are. I'm looking forward to it. Chris, I'm looking forward to catching you on stage. I've only ever... I don't know. I've seen you sing here and there.
Back alley
back
here
alleys, but
it's true. I'll have a nicer dress on, and I'll be in more performer mode. But I'm more of a busker, so to be performing is I'm a little bit of a fish out of water, but it's a good opportunity to stretch myself. So I'm looking forward to it too.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna catch you then, Chris. You have a good one. We'll see you soon.
Okay.